Nina. They ain't playing with Stephen A. Smith no more, man. They are tired of Stephen A. Smith and what he's got to say, and they went off on him, especially Nina. I'm going to share my screen and show you what Mrs. Nina Westbrook had to say about Stephen A. Smith. It's kind of long, so bear with me. Let's show you. Well, first, I'm going to tell you what Stephen A. Smith said. So Stephen A. Smith went on First Take and on his special show, Stephen A.'s World, and basically said Russell Westbrook, he would have won a championship by now if he had a three-point shot. He's like, Russell Westbrook put up all these crazy triple-double numbers and hoops his mind off, and he respects him, and he's a dog, and he does all that. But none of that matters because the Wizards are like 17-38 right now. The Wizards are one of the worst teams in basketball. They're 10 games under 500, and Westbrook never developed a shot. Westbrook has been in the league 12 years and never developed a three-point shot. He's a 30% career three-point shooter, where the likes of like Curry's at 43, Clay's at 40, Kevin Durant's at 38, James Harden's at 36 for a career, and Westbrook's at 30, and he never got better. And he's basically saying, if you would have developed that shot, as great as you are with your talent and your ability, you would have won a championship by now. And it sucks because you're probably never going to win one now. And a lot of that is your own fault, is what Stephen A. said. And I didn't find nothing wrong with that. But it don't matter what I think. It's what Miss Nina Westbrook had to think. And I'm going to show you what she had to say. And it's like I said, it's kind of long, so bear with me. This is from Twitter. So Nina Westbrook says, how tiring is it to be minding your own business and have notifications pop up on your phone about people being negative and hating on your family? There are several things wrong with what Stephen A. says here. I'm only going to address two parts that speak to me. Let me make sure you guys can see this because she's about to go in. She is about to go in on Stephen A. Smith. So she continues to say, ooh, this is kind of small. Let me zoom in a little bit. Small, right. My husband and I were recently watching the UCLA game where an announcer recognized who also covered the team when he was playing those years. Russell goes, it's unfortunate that these people have the ability to use their platform to change the way these young players' talents are perceived. Imagine being a college player trying to make it to the next level, and these people on TV have the ability to influence public's perception of you. If they say that you're that bad, teams won't want to pick you. This guy right here used to say, I wouldn't be good in the NBA. Imagine if I had listened to him. That's what Westbrook said to his wife. So that part, imagine if I had listened to him, still rings true today. Imagine if Russell let the words of Stephen A. Smith deter him from being the amazing human he is. Imagine if Russell Westbrook cared about what Stephen A. had to say. And then she goes on to talk bad about Stephen A. She does this respectfully over 4 Instagram posts, right? Like all of that, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, I don't want to read all of it because I don't want to bore you to death. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about Miss Nina Westbrook, and I'm going to say this respectfully. Because I'm in this media game too. Not at the level of Stephen A., not on the platform like Stephen A., but I got a little platform. I got a little audience, right? Folks too sensitive nowadays, man. That Stephen A. did not call Russell Westbrook out of his name. He didn't say he was a bad person. He didn't say he was a bad teammate. All he said was, if you develop the three-point shot over your career like the rest of the NBA, like literally the rest of the NBA is a three-point shooting league. If you had a jump shot, if you had a three-point shot, you would be a champion. Durant might have never left. James Harden might have wanted to come back to OKC. He said OKC could potentially be the Brooklyn Nets. And he's not wrong. Like nothing Stephen A. Smith said was wrong. Folks are just being sensitive. Russell Westbrook has career earnings of over $200 million. So when you decide to collect that check from the NBA, that a part of the agreement is you are going to get criticized by people in media. That is the purpose of playing a game. If you don't want to get criticized by people in media, don't play in NBA. Go play at the YMCA. They ain't criticizing folks down at the local YMCA or at the local rec leagues. Ain't people like me, Stephen A., and all these other folks ain't talking about people at the YMCA and the rec leagues. They're talking about folks in the NBA. I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect Nina Westbrook. I bet she's a loving mother, a loving wife. And that's all she's trying to do is protect her husband. And Westbrook came out to say, and I liked his response. He said, I'm a champion in life. In response to Stephen A., because of course reporters asked him about it, right? He's like, I'm a champion in life, man. I'm a kid from the street. Matter of fact, forget it. I'm just going to let Russ tell you what he said because, at the end of the day, he's got to understand, and I'm sure he understands. He's been in the NBA way too long to not understand, man, when you're in the league, people are going to talk about you. Like, that is a part of Stephen A's job, is to talk about people like Russell Westbrook. That is literally in his job description. You can't be sensitive all the time, man. We're just being sensitive. This man, Stephen A, literally did not say anything personally about Russell Westbrook. Just said you should have developed a three-point shot. Let's hear what Russ had to say.
I know many people that got NBA champions that's miserable. Like, they've done nothing for their community. I've done nothing for the people in our world. And for me, man, my legacy, like I mentioned before, is now.
And that's amazing, Russ. Like, that's awesome. You are a champion at life. You made a bunch of money playing a child's game, basketball. Clap it up. You are a champion at life. But we're not talking about your life. We're talking about your NBA career. We're talking about the NBA and strictly the NBA. We're not talking about you as a father. We're not talking about your philanthropic achievements. We're not talking about your marriage. We're not talking about your friendship with your friends. We're not talking about your relationship with your family. We're talking about basketball. So therefore, Stephen A is right. If you had developed a jump shot, you, John Wall, Derrick Rose had developed better jump shot, three-point shots, you would have better NBA careers. That's all he's saying. You would have a career along the trajectory of a Kyrie Irving, who's got a championship, or Steph Curry, who's got multiple championships, right? Like, the fact that you play with James Harden, play with Kevin Durant, unlike someone like a Damian Lillard, who hasn't had that luxury to play with teammates that great, right? You're currently playing with the Bradley Beal, but your team's 10 games under 500. Stephen A is right. Nina Westbrook and is being too sensitive. Russell is being too sensitive. He's just criticizing a man's basketball game. That is literally it. You could say, oh, blah, blah, blah. Man, he didn't say nothing personal to this man. He criticized his basketball game, which he gets paid to do, which he is allowed to do. When you play on the biggest stage in the world, guess what? You're going to get critics when you don't perform. And Russell Westbrook in playoff situations in the biggest moments hasn't performed. And part of that reason is because he doesn't have a three-point shot. Man, that's all Stephen A said, man. Stephen A, I'm on your side, brother. I'm not always on Stephen A's side. Trust me, I've had my gripes with him in the past, but he's right on this, man. And I know he's going to say something about this on First Take. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsey Jr. with the Black Boss Channel in Victory Formation. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave your thoughts and comments on Russell Westbrook and Nina Westbrook's problem with Stephen A. Smith. I'm Jeff Lightsey Jr.